today's topic is really abstaining from alcohol or quitting alcohol. Currently at 22 months without alcohol. In about 2 months, I'll hit 2 years of no alcohol. And I always like to preface this with, I don't think this is for everybody. I don't talk about this to say, oh, you should completely abstain or you shouldn't drink. This is just really from my perspective and what turned out to work well for me. Mostly because I don't know if it's my addictive personality or my Irish genes, but when I used to drink, I would really go severely overboard, especially once I got one or two drinks in my system. It's almost like somebody else would take over and I couldn't stop drinking. And I would keep on chasing this sort of feeling, this inebriated feeling. And so, yeah, I just wanted to talk about just how much my life has improved in so many different ways. And really how when I actually first stopped drinking, it was very difficult. Like, it was very difficult because I was not drinking every day, but I was definitely drinking every week, to the point where I would go through work, and then typically I would start to have a drink. I would have a drink maybe on Sunday night before the work week would start, or I would sometimes drink on Thursday night, definitely on the weekend. And a lot of times I was drinking to escape work stress and to deal with just work stress. Or sometimes I would hurt my back or something, and I would be like, oh, I have pain in my back, I need a drink. But yeah, I wasn't drinking every day, but I was definitely drinking a couple times a week, abusing it. And I remember my last drink was on the 4th of July, 2023. And I was at home, family had a little, the 4th of July party, and I had a beer, maybe a beer or two. And I just remember feeling terrible. I remember feeling just not good with myself, not happy. So even though in the past I had tried to quit drinking many times, and maybe I would last 2 weeks, in my mind I thought, wow, going 2 weeks, that's amazing. That's such a long time. That felt like a long time for me because it was just normal to drink at least once a week. And so, yeah, the first month was really difficult. The first month was tough. I was really, really tempted. 2 months, 3 months. First couple months, my body was trying to tempt me into having a drink. I would think about having a drink. I would remember how good it would feel to take that first beer or wine, and you would just start to, your worries would just kind of wash away and you'd start to feel really good. And then probably around 6, 7, 8 months, a year, it gets easier because you just are so used to not even partaking that you don't even really think about it. And so, yeah, now sometimes sometimes I'll see a beer at a restaurant and I'll go, oh, that beer looks good, or a wine. But I think I enjoy the benefits of just being sober and not drinking more than that outweighs any short-term feeling of just feeling good or feeling a bit tipsy. I think what really, really turned the tide for me was, especially, it's easier as you get older because when you drink, you feel the effects way more. When you get older, I'm in my 40s, and so if I would drink a lot and had a hangover, it would take days to get over. And then second, if I would drink, I would typically go and eat a bunch of junk food. The next day I would keep on eating junk food. I wouldn't want to go to the gym. And so the effects of it, I would always keep that in mind. And so it's just not worth it for me, really. There's a lot of benefits, really, sleeping better, you lose a you lose a tremendous amount of weight because you're not, eating junk food, but you're also not drinking a lot of liquid calories. I remember I went to like a work event, and I work remote, so when I saw my coworkers, they probably hadn't seen me for a long time, maybe a year, and they were like, "Oh, you lost a lot of weight. How'd you do it?" And I said, "Well, I stopped drinking." And they were like, "Really? Like, how would you lose weight not drinking?" And I know it sounds weird, but well, I didn't realize how much alcohol, or sorry, calories is contained in alcohols. I didn't realize that one IPA, or like like a large beer, is almost like eating a cheeseburger. So I was drinking multiple cheeseburgers in a night, a lot. And so it's a lot of calories. It's in a liquid form, so you can ingest those calories very quickly. And what exacerbates it, or on top of those calories, is you're getting no nutrients. You're not getting any protein. You're not getting any fiber. There's no nutrients whatsoever. You're really just getting dehydrated. You're dehydrating yourself. So that was one thing, just a lot of dramatic weight loss over time. Clearly huge savings. I mean, I saved a fortune just because every time you go out to drink, the majority of the bill is alcohol, or even going to buy, like, I got into this habit of buying really expensive wine, and I was spending a lot of money on that. So I ended up saving a huge amount of money. And then another benefit was really just, it feels really good to be sober now. Like, I really love the feeling of being sober, being in control. It's like when I would start to drink, it would it would it would sort of, like, I don't know the right word, or like the right way to say this, but it would kind of cancel things out. Like, once you start drinking, you're like, oh, okay, I know I'm not going to be able to focus on doing some work, or even if I'm like drinking at home and there's a family emergency, chances are I'm not going to be reliable to drive someone to the hospital, or if someone needs help, or if there's like, what if I'm driving and my car breaks down, or, well, hopefully I'm not driving and drinking, but, or just anything. Like, it just felt good to always be in control of myself. And so that's one thing I really enjoy to this day, in addition to the other things I'd mentioned. Another thing I found really interesting is that when I do mention quitting drinking to friends or family, whomever, and again, I don't really say like, oh, you need to stop drinking. I don't really judge anybody, because, again, I would still drink if I could control myself. And there's a lot of people, I respect people that can just have one beer, or, have a glass of wine, and they can stop at that. And I admire that. But I just know myself that for me, it's like, the expression, one is too many and 1,000 is not enough. So I just know that I have to abstain. I cannot go down that path. I don't know if I come from a line of alcoholics, or I just have the alcoholic gene, but boy, when I just get into drinking, it's all bets are off. I just go full boat into it. But what I wanted to mention was, when I do mention not drinking, it's interesting. I hear a lot of people say, either they're like, well, I need to keep drinking because of work stress, or whatever stress, which I understand that. It's a good way to relax, or just like if you're going to go play golf or surf or whatever, to get your mind off work and kind of your work problems, or your life problems. But one thing I found interesting was, when I would mention not drinking, there would be a comment of like, oh, well, what about when you go out with friends, or go to a party, or like, isn't it boring? Like, don't you not have a good time? That's really an interesting aspect. So initially, when I stopped drinking, when I would go to like an event, or like a party, or whatever, and everyone I know there is drinking, the first thing, at first it was difficult, I'll admit. It was tough, because I would rely on alcohol as sort of a way to kind of, cut the edges off, become relaxed, become more talkative, uninhibited. And So at first I would maybe show up to events and I would be maybe a little bit more stiff. I would drink some water or get some sort of non-alcoholic drink. But what's funny is, or interesting, is that over time, I would start to go to events and I would actually have a much more, I would have way more fun not drinking. Like I was able to have much better conversations, be way more coherent. I found I at least I think I, was a lot more funny or better listener. I remember when I would drink, I would just start to, and of course this is probably attributed to drinking too much, but I would just start to speak nonsense and just have not remember things clearly, say stupid things, maybe even say things that would aggravate someone or make them mad. Or I remember times just kind of getting into altercations from time to time. So that's one thing that's really fun. It's fun to go to an event now and not drink, and especially when everyone else is drinking, and just being in control of yourself. It's really fun, and it's yeah, I found it to be much more enjoyable than going there and just kind of rushing to find a drink so I can like feel comfortable. So that's one thing I didn't expect, and I really liked a lot. I do I do want to shout out, or at least mention, a channel that I watch a lot that's helped, and that is a gentleman by the name of Andrew Kulkin, Culkin. I'll put the channel in the description, but his channel, he talks a lot about alcoholism, and he actually wrote a book about his late wife, who was an alcoholic for many years and passed away due to it. And so he does talk a lot about stories, and I like to bring up his channel because it helped me a lot to watch that channel, and it's just helpful to hear other people's stories that were either themselves alcoholics or affected by alcoholics. Because I'm pretty sure that when I was drinking heavily, it affected my relationships, it affected my family. So that's another benefit I didn't mention, was that it just feels good to show up as the best version of myself for others. But yeah, Andrew Culkin, his channel is really good. A lot of interesting stories in there. And he would actually he talks a lot about his wife, Amanda. And it's really interesting to hear those stories because it reminds me sort of myself before, when I was really into drinking. And like he describes going on vacation, and then the whole vacation becomes like, she would just find any way she could drink in the airport or in the hotel. And I would do the same thing. Like I remember I was about to fly to Europe and I got so drunk in the airport that I almost missed my flight. Or just like nights of getting really drunk and like maybe like giving money away or lose my wallet or just spending a huge amount of money. But when I would start to drink, everything became about alcohol. Like I just had to go out and find it somewhere, somehow. But yeah, that's about it. I'll probably do some more sobriety videos, and talk about, as I kind of move further along and maybe get to 2 years, 3 years, hopefully longer. I mean, I've met people that haven't drank in 20 years, and that's amazing to me. And just for me right now to get to 22 months and almost 2 years, it's unbelievable. Like I never thought I would get to this point. And so to be like completely sober, not a drop of alcohol in that amount of time, not any alcohol whatsoever. It's pretty, yeah, I feel good. It feels really good to take care of yourself and be proud of yourself for things like that. Things that, it's not like buying an expensive watch. It's like doing something for yourself, something that no one can take away from you. And so, yeah, it feels good to have done that for myself and others. And it's also bled into my fitness goals, which is, the purpose of this channel will be about self-improvement. I want to start doing some workout videos and things like that, but it's helped my workouts tremendously. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. And this is a topic I like to, I think about a lot. So, and probably is near and dear to a lot of people as they try to get off of alcohol or substances or any kind of addiction, really. But Yeah, thank you so much, and have a great day.